it doesn't really matter now, but I'm going to look back at week 14 anyway. I might just get it over with in one video. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I really didn't want to have to make a video with this stupid computer fan being the way it is right now, but whatever. I went 11 and 5 on picks, that's fine. Start off with Saints in Atlanta. You know, this is the kind of thing that frustrates me. I had the Saints pegged for a 40-point victory, you know, just kill the Falcons, and, you know, now we know the Saints are not going to go undefeated, but in hindsight, we obviously know that now, but Chris Redman is going to end the undefeated season, really? And not only Chris Redman, but then there was also some running back, Snelling. Who's that, right? I mean, these are the guys that are going to do it, really? And, you know, they almost did, and I can't trace it back to any one particular play that could have changed in their favor, but still, they lost by 3 points, and, you know, it's fine. If you win, you win, and most games in the NFL are close, but it's tough sometimes to pick these games and to just see things happen and you can't explain it. Ravens, Lions, liked what I saw there from Baltimore. A game they needed to have where they just overpowered somebody. It seems like they have a hard time doing that. They really should have done that to Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, didn't. And this week they got one of the worst teams in the league and just had no problem with it. 48-3. And I continue to think Ray Rice is going to be a superstar. He's becoming one of my favorite players in the league, and this was a guy I wanted to stay away from in fantasy. And now it's like, I can't wait to take him next year. Green Bay and Chicago. You know, I'm going to say something. I watched a few parts of this game, and I ended up seeing both of Jay Cutler's touchdowns. And his receivers made some nice plays on the ball. Now, all year, Chicago receivers really haven't been playing the ball that well, not making it life easy for the quarterback, but I thought they made some nice touchdown catches. Didn't win the game. Green Bay's just a better team. Green Bay just played better, but I liked what I saw from the Chicago wide receivers making those plays on the ball in the end zone. So there's hope yet. Not for this season, but in the future. Indy 28, Broncos 16. You know, I don't quite know how to judge this game. Manning played like crap, and I think if you watch this game, you'll know that if he was on, the Colts win this game by 20 plus points, but he completed less than half his passes. He threw 3 picks. He was bad. He was really bad, actually. I mean, you know, he saved himself with the 4 touchdowns, but I thought he was terrible, and they still won by double digits because, you know, Denver, they moved the ball, but they couldn't finish. Brandon Marshall had the awesome game, but really could have used a couple more end zone trips because Denver just wasn't finishing off drives. And, you know, to be Brandon Marshall, that was probably one of the best games you'll ever see from a wide receiver. I thought it was a lot more impressive than T.O. catching 20 balls in that game against Chicago, which I kind of remember. And it seemed like the Bears were just so terrified of Jerry Rice that they let T.O. get whatever he wanted. And in this game, who are you going to stop if not Brandon Marshall? And he still did it. So that was a great game by him. I was happy to see it happen. I mean, it happens in a loss, and, you know, so you can question that all you want, but it's still great to see. And, you know, Indy, they win by double digits against a good team, even when their best player isn't playing well, and hey, why not? Bills and Chiefs, 16-10. Oh, I can't even tell you what to say, but nothing good about either of these franchises, nothing to care about. Moving on. Panthers, Patriots. I really was surprised Carolina put up a fight. I was very impressed by how they played in that first half, how they hung tough, how they realistically could have been in the game if not for the stupid roughing the punter penalty. I don't think they would have won or tied it or anything like that, but it's possible. They kind of blew the opportunity to go and win the game because of the crappy roughing the punter thing. You guys know what I'm talking about, but obviously New England didn't play well. They're not playing very well right now in general. Lots of turnovers. Randy Moss not being part of the game plan, which, you know, if Randy Moss is quitting, that's not okay, but at the same time, why wouldn't you try and get him involved in the game early on? Why wouldn't you throw him a couple deep balls early on just because? He's Randy Moss. There's no reason why not to. Jets and Buccaneers. Um, Somebody please convince me these Jets aren't good, because I might end up picking them to win some games to close the year, and I don't want to think they're good because I don't think they are, but I don't know. They've won 3 in a row now. They looked good against Tampa, forced a lot of turnovers, played really good defense, had a productive offense, but they're not good, and I'm going to buy into them if they win tomorrow, probably. Damn it all. Bengals, Vikings, not an impressive showing by Cincinnati, and this is what I'm talking about when I say I don't know if they're good. That was really a poor showing. I didn't expect them to win, but I expected them to give them a game, and really they didn't. I thought that was a pretty poor effort by them. Defensively, they, after an early turnover, they kind of gave up whatever the Vikings wanted to get, and they can't pass the ball. Cedric Benson, really just a very mediocre season, just getting a lot of carries, and I think that they're going down in the first round unless they play Jacksonville. I feel like they could beat Jacksonville. I don't even think they could beat Baltimore at this point. And if Pittsburgh somehow sneaks in as the 6th seed and plays Cincinnati, I wouldn't count that out either. I don't know. Just saying. Miami-Jacksonville, good game. Tough game between two teams that did need it. And at the end of the day, Garrard's pocket presence, I think, cost Jacksonville a bit. His accuracy issues, I think, cost him quite a bit. He does have that thing where he has wide open receivers and lets the ball sail because, Miami didn't score at all in the second half. The game was there for the taking, and Jacksonville could never quite get it. And, I gotta give a big ups to Ricky Williams. And if you've ever read a story or seen the 30 for 30 piece, I think it's going to come out soon about this guy. He's had a hell of a trip to get here, and he's still playing great. It's great to watch, I gotta say. Titans, Rams, there you go. The only thing that I really took out of that game was the Rams have a quarterback named Keith Null. That's an inspiring name. I mean, holy crap. Keith Null. I got to give credit to Cousin Sal for this, but he suggested the Rams should try and get a receiver named Void. Get the Null and Void combo in there. And, other than that, it was just taking care of business for Tennessee, playing really well. Rams playing really bad, which is how they always play. So maybe it's not even considered bad anymore when that's how they always do it. Washington, Oakland, Arakpo. Really glad he's working out. I think the Redskins fan base, they deserve better than this, and to get a player that looks like he's really going to be a monster out there. He's a Rookie of the Year candidate. He might even be a Pro Bowl candidate. And, they seem to hit on that pick, and it looks like it's going to be the last first-round pick of the Vinny Serrato reign, so at least they left him with that. And I guess Bruce Gradkowski got hurt, and he's done for the year, and it's sad to me that they're not even going to play Russell. They're actually going to go to Charlie Fry. I guess Russell isn't even the third stringer anymore. Sad, really. San Diego, Dallas. I watched this game, and I don't quite know how it happened, but I looked up, and San Diego was up by 10 with, 2 minutes left, and it was over. And, I thought Dallas, they played well in parts. I didn't think they played terrible or anything like that, but couldn't finish drives, couldn't... Obviously, you look at that goal line stand, and I thought the play calling on that goal line stand was fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Jason Garrett did when he ran it 4 straight times. That's a player thing. You should be able to score on that play. The only other thing I might have done was a quarterback sneak. I think the quarterback sneak is pretty much unstoppable on the goal line, but I think you got to be able to execute on a play like that and get in the end zone. So, it was a good game. Dallas made it seem better than it was by getting a garbage time score with 2 seconds left, and, a touchdown's a touchdown, but that touchdown didn't mean anything. And, let's see. Eagles-Giants, great Sunday night game, lots of back-and-forth action. Andy Reid coached well, unlike the last time we saw him on national TV. Deshaun Jackson, I don't know if he's the best wide receiver in the league right now, but I think you can make that argument that It just seems like nobody can contain the guy. It's just completely impossible. Your only hope is a bad throw or a misread or something like that, because it seems like no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to stop him. And I'm really starting to embrace it. He might be one of the best receivers in the league, even though it's kind of hard to admit that because he's only been around 2 years and it seems like he's a newcomer, but it might just be that. Let's wrap it up with Arizona, San Francisco. I thought Arizona had finally wedged their way into the elite of the NFL, one of the better teams, a team that was consistently great, and then they turn it over 7 times. This is what's so frustrating about this league sometimes. I don't know what to say about a game like that. I mean, even when they scored a touchdown, they missed the extra point. That's how off they were. I thought Frisco played well with their balanced offensive game plan, running the ball a lot and balancing it, but still, I mean, I really thought Arizona had it figured out, and no.